Salt and Pepper fans in the house? Come on, let's go. 80s babies, 90s kids. Anyone? Let's go. This is, I gotta say, it's a little bit of a full circle moment for me. I grew up listening to that song, The Tape, Let It Be Known, on repeat, 2 hours in the car every single weekend, and I was so blessed to have strong women in my ear. So 35 years later, it's very exciting to walk out to them. So shout out Salt and Pepper. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. I am from Denver, Colorado, so I'm a Midwest kid, but I have East Coast energy. I'm gonna talk fast. This is a 45-minute speech. We're gonna cram it into 30. I've got some audience participation in the mix, and my slides are a little different. There's a ton of intel on here. It's a lot of copy, which I don't suggest if you're speaking, but what I wanted it to be is a tool for you when you go home. You have access to it on my website, even right now if you wanted to follow, so you can go back and reference any of this. You can kick back, relax, no need to take notes. It's all here, it's all available, and we will rock out. Let's just start with some energy. Amber was awesome. We have some awesome speakers. Let's get into that self-expression mode. Follow Salt and Pepper. If I can get a little self-expression, you follow after me. Self. Let's go. Okay. So today I'm talking about graceful disruption. Throughout this, there is a lot of copy on these slides. So I have my friends in a party where I gave them tequila. They're having a good time throughout it. So you can understand that we're coming in with the branding as well. So I'm not here, believe it or not, as a fitness expert to tell you to work out or to do fitness. What we are here to talk about is graceful disruption and movement in general, physical, mental, and how we move through this world as a whole. So what is graceful disruption, and why am I talking about this? This is what happens when you rewrite the rules, not with aggression, but intention. It's changing in your body, your mind, and your relationship with yourself while honoring where you've been, your experience, aka your gold stars, which we will talk about, allowing strength and self-expression in a changing body with a mindset you can do anything, including fitness, if you choose to. So I'm going to repeat a lot of this around graceful disruption, mindset, and body. I'm a marketing professional, and it's 8 to 12 times before something sets in, so I'm going to say it to you like at least 22 times throughout this. Okay, this is what this entire talk boils down to. Mindset, how we think. I'm very into energy and the woo, but if you're not, I got the science for you as well. So we're gonna break down that. There are physiological things actually happening when we feel our bodies move. Your experience, what you have already sitting here in this room right now. It was great to hear Amber talk on it. I'm gonna reinforce some of her messaging because it's true. We are equipped right now and we have so much more within us than we really give ourselves credit for. And that equals the power for positive change. So even like how some of the other speakers had noted, my journey has webbed and weaved, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. And it didn't exactly go the way I planned, which is what I say, God, universe, Madonna on my podcast, whatever you believe, has the plan for us. So it's really just about being open to receive, but also moving as intentionally as you can, that juxtaposition we live right in between. About 5 years ago, I had this download, again, if anyone believes in energy, whoever it was, God, universe, Madonna, where I just wrote down to inspire positive, radical social evolution. I'm not necessarily the most religious person or anything like that, so I just downloaded, I wrote it, and then just things started showing up. I started a podcast, my business, and it just sort of happened. So I can't tell you I have that fully figured out to this day, but my message in that is just be open to what's coming through you, write it down, and see where that path moves you, and somehow just be open to like things unfolding for you. We're all somewhat of a little bit control freaks. I'm guessing we have this in common. That's very hard to let go and let it happen, but it's been a huge piece of this puzzle. So I'll leave that there. That's a whole other podcast, but I do like to note that in the very beginning. Okay, who am I and why am I here? Quick 411, I am the oldest of 4. I have 3 younger brothers. Universe set me up very early to hold my own and speak out loud. I'm a former Division I athlete. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I played lacrosse at George Mason University. I actually walked on, if you know lacrosse at all, it's very much a East Coast sport. It's a little bit diversified now, but I walked on, and by my second year, I got run over as a freshman, but the audacity I had as a young human to think I even belonged was something I lean into to this day. But I tore my ACL, so I went from a very high, making the team, being starter, to boom, immediate identity shift, speaking of changing body, and I had no conversation around mental health and wellness at the time. I was 18 / a 0-year-old, and didn't really know how to figure it out. So I lost 35 pounds, I didn't really eat, I didn't really sleep, I didn't party. All I cared about was getting back on the field, because I only knew myself as a lacrosse player. So that was step 1, like breakdown, breakthrough of my changing body and my experience of who am I outside of just playing lacrosse. From there, I came home and I started Colorado Rising Stars Lacrosse, Sierra Slacks. We did all things camps, tournaments, team sales, and it was just to help facilitate lacrosse in Denver, Colorado, which was very small back in the day. It's pretty big now. And the reason I talk about this is because what I was doing then is helping exposure and helping diversify. Lacrosse had provided so much for my world. I wanted to get people included in the game because it helped make the best friends in my life. It helped me start my business, and it was traditionally a very wealthy private school kids sport, and I was lucky that my public school happened to have it. So I wanted to make a lot of my events free, so I started reaching out to companies saying, will you sponsor this? Fast forward, I started KO Alliance, my company, and it's almost the exact same thing what I did 15, 20 years ago with Sierra Lacrosse, with strategic partnerships and creative strategy. So again, going back to that point of being open to letting the journey just unfold without all of the control on things, it never could have worked out better with me planning it versus just letting go and letting things come in. Alongside that, I was a varsity head coach, so I was working with my young women really throughout, but that was a really major impact on my marketing career when I started to see humans getting their reality off their phone. And I was managing some influencers at the time that had disordered eating, and they were on the cover of Women's Health. And so I felt, as the human behind the machine, I'm like, we got to figure out something here. I know this is not true. I see my young women getting their reality off this. Somehow we've got to do things better. And that's when I started my podcast, Turmeric and Tequila, literally the juxtaposition of being both things. I'm an athlete, I love anti-inflammatories and human optimization, all things. I love tequila, and I love to party, I love to have fun. And both worlds were like, yo, you gotta pick one. And so I joke that I exist somewhere in that ampersand in the middle. And it's true, because as you know, we wear many hats, we wanna do many things, and these ideas and identities that we're pushed into aren't the truth. And that's where we need to continue to gracefully disrupt that mindset and get back to who we are. I was a CrossFit Games athlete, started the business. Amber talked about core values. Learned that very quick. If you're out of alignment with your core values, the business, the mindset, everything, nothing really works. And it's exciting to see our younger humans having these conversations earlier, because as you grow and evolve and change, if you're out of alignment with your core values, really nothing else matters. That is an entire podcast I won't pontificate on. However, I spoke about Salt and Pepper, my strong women, early. I got to give props to the OG Madonna. Whether you love or hate the music, that's fine. But this is a human that never compromised and never shrank in her space. And I love the music, but the business side, I am a business nerd. Early on, she turned down music deals and sponsorship deals from Pepsi for $5 million. This is before Madonna is the Madonna now. And she stuck to her word. Not a lot of people turn down the paycheck to stick to what they do. So, as I noted, wherever you are in your space right now, you are equipped, and it doesn't need to be a perfect situation for you to start something. I had many conversations last night with humans wanting to start podcasts, and I'm all for it. Like, lean in. You don't need to have the perfect plan, whatever, just start. And that's why I lean into this quote. I didn't start singing because I had the best voice. I started singing because I had something to say. So when in doubt, go back to this. It doesn't have to be perfect. You literally just have to start things. Okay, so graceful disruption, again, we're gonna drive home these key points the entire time. Is the real power. It's about rewriting the rules, your body, your life, not to fit what anyone else expects, but to become more authentically you. Authenticity, it's kind of a played out word in the marketing world at this point, but it really is getting back to that heart space and that authenticity that is you. Mindset, movement is about rewriting the rules. We're going to hear a lot about rewriting. Reclaiming your agency and power, and a declaration, I am writing new ones. So whatever you want to be, it's going back, Salt and Pepper, to the 1980s, early 1990s, about self-expression and leaning in. Now, when you talk about these things, I want you to think about who you are, what matters to you, and then take a moment and really feel it. Feel who you are. Think about that young self. I was this kid, again, with the audacity to go walk on this D1 top 20 team, and I was from Colorado. Our lacrosse level was not close to that. But I had this self-belief, and I will often pause and sit there and think of that 18-year-old self and be like, okay, where's she at? Let's go. So take that time to sit there and feel what you're thinking. Movement is medicine, but it allows you to rewrite, again, relationship with the changing body, not despite it, oftentimes because of it. Oh, we're going the wrong way. So Kaizen, I don't know if anyone happens to be familiar with Japanese philosophy, but in a nutshell, philosophy, to live is to suffer. We're constantly figuring it out. Continuous movement is Kaizen. So I like to keep this in the back of my mind, or continuous improvement, continuous evolution. It's not, traditional strength in the gym. You see Madonna with her muscles. We're here for it. But it's really the ability to adapt, constantly showing up and knowing that things are going to change, our body's mindset, things around us are going to change. How do we adapt to that space? That is the real strength. Right now, it's the awareness. Again, it's like feeling that piece of it and having the strength to rewrite your story, the strength to express who you are exactly as you are. Authenticity. You have the tools, the gold stars that we're going to get into, my favorite part of this, to move forward right now. These are my friends. The 2 pillars of my podcast are mental health and community. Any entrepreneurs in the mix? Yes, a few? Well, it's a very solo journey. So even if you're doing a side hustle or business on the side, you have to have your humans around you. I would even argue that community is more important than fitness and nutrition, because you really do need a crew around you. So these are my people. Again, I give them tequila and make them wear my clothes and do all the things. And that's a pro marketing tip if you ever need to do that. Get your apparel, get some good eats and drinks, and get your crew together. So TNT, I touched on it. It's seemingly opposing things can harmoniously coexist. Amber did say on this as well. Grief and whatnot can go together. Athletic and party, it can all fit. I even like to say, our Republicans, our Democrats, like we're here to poke the bear. We can find common things and ground in the world and within ourselves. The equal part science and the mindset, we're going to get into that. I do like to say, if you can get your mind in a certain space, I promise you, your body will follow. And I've even felt this when I tore my ACL and I had months of rehab and recovery, and I actually had to go back in and clean it out, all this. But I could keep my mindset together and show up with a good attitude to rehab and training, even though I didn't want to be there and I was literally depressed. I knew if I could get my mind right, my body followed in the movement situation. So when in doubt, really do try and get your mindset together. Okay, this is a lot of writing. Follow me here. This is the science part of it, and this is why I made it available, and I have my sources at the end because you can dig in. But, okay, the serotonin, all the science, it's not a small thing. When you exercise, dopamine levels increase in your brain. But here's the really interesting part. Research shows that increased dopamine doesn't make you feel good. It actually increases your motivation to keep you moving. One movement leads to another. The science literally proves that momentum builds on itself. Each step creates the neurological conditions that make the next step easier. So it's not just mindset, what you think. It is actually physiological happening within. We have the proof. What's even more powerful, movement creates what research calls exercise empowerment. That's confidence and control you develop over your own choices. When you move your body, you're not just exercising, you're building agency, your sense of control over your own life. You're building autonomy, your sense of choice, you're developing self-efficacy, your belief in your own capability to succeed. And these aren't just feel-good concepts, they're measurable neurological changes happening in real time. You're sending messages to your nervous system, I have control, I have power, I can change things. So this is what it's all about. It's not just motivation, it's a revolution within your own nervous system, and you're disrupting your own narrative. So this is really exciting stuff. If you're into the woo and you feel it, that's me. If you're not, we now have measurables. This is another version of that. This exercise empowerment, you move, the research shows, you build agency, you build autonomy, you build your self-efficacy. So anyone that's run, we had a great workout today, shout out to the team. Your runner's high, your yoga glow, if you do art or music, you feel that relaxation. Measurables are there, but I encourage everyone to feel that feeling after you move and how it shifts your mindset and your brain. Another version, a chart. I'm a visual learner, so you get all the words, and then I'll give you some charts to break it up. But your gut producing 90% serotonin, dopamine's motivation, and the GABA, like your brain waves, are the calm resilience. When you exercise or you move, and exercise can be anything. It doesn't have to be CrossFit or deadlifting 1,000,000 pounds. We did armbands today. Those my traps are going to be sore. Any sort of thing you can do that facilitates that movement is exercise. So release that dopamine, get that momentum going, and then take that second to actually feel it. These are my friends sharing the love. They were high on dopamine and also tequila. So this is, again, another version of that. I do speak to a lot of neurodivergent crowds, so we have the same information in different zones. But that gut-brain connect is huge. I know my nutrition humans here can tell you how you feel your body is going to impact your hormones and you think your energy and how your brain functions. So maintaining that idea of this whole human approach, how you do something is how you do everything. To be honest, I don't love that quote because I'm very serious about some things and some things not. That's why turmeric and tequila, the brand is so real. But the mindset is this whole human approach of how we're walking through the world. It's not just about training and then having a garbage diet or having super great diet but then not training. It's about all the things. And then in addition, keeping our spirit in alignment, whether it's religion, community, what have you. But that whole human situation. So I say it's not just because about burning calories. It's about transforming how you see yourself, your power, and your capability for change or capacity. Okay. Albert's research, self-efficacy is built through mastery of experiences. And this, we're going to get into our gold stars. You do something hard. And this can be hard to you or hard to someone else. I have humans that run 50 miles on a weekend. I have humans that run 2 miles on a weekend. And with my body and my knee at this point, 2 miles is a major gold star for me. So whatever your hard is okay. And that's your measurement within of how you measure that, and then feel the excitement that you accomplished whatever that hard situation is. So you do something hard, you collect evidence, I can do this, you feel it, it's not someone telling you, you can actually feel it. You build in your capability, you have that belief, you feel it again. And then the hard thing feels more possible, so you can do that hard thing at a level up, or you can just do it again the next day or in due time. And even if your hard thing is like exercise, now maybe you're completing a book. I'm not a huge reader, so finishing a book by the end of the month is a big deal, and creating that space. So one hard thing that's completely different to another hard thing can inspire the process, regardless if they're totally opposing situations. And what I say, your invisible gold stars are your mastery of experiences. We're going to talk about that. So one decision leads to another decision, leads to another decision. I usually find if I'm starting to eat clean and get focused, like it's easier for me to start with breakfast and then lunch and then dinner. And then the next day I'm like, I did well yesterday. We're going to eat well again today. We're going to fuel intentionally. And it's harder to get off of it the longer I go. So the momentum is real, and recognize that when you're doing it. We're staying on brand with the retreat, the butterfly effect. Let's go. One walk, one exercise, one decision, it all builds. And I say this can be with nutrition, with kindness, with relationships. Being intentional with how you move and making that one right decision in any of these things really does build that momentum. The power is looking back and saying, oh, I am doing this. I am doing a good job. And you can see and feel it. And that's what helps make that step, or that the longevity of doing that path the right way, your way. Settling, you are building a life where you're not waiting for permission to be powerful. You are claiming it. Can start with a workout or a book, and then all of a sudden you are on stage talking about graceful disruption, or you are out there working out at 7 a.m. for a long day. You let go just enough as you're intentionally showing up. Again, my friends, this is one of my puppy dogs. The vibe attracts the tribe. I cannot say enough good things about getting that community. Get your humans around you that can help hold you accountable when you have those bad days, because you absolutely will. I certainly still do, particularly for my entrepreneurs. You know that you need that team around you. Or if you're going to do surgery or some big change in life, you need the community around you. Okay, so we're all in different spaces in life, whether it's your bariatric journey, if you're pre-op, post-op, or years in. The mindset of we're all in different spaces, but we're all approaching that next step collectively in some capacity. So I always like to say, maintain the mindset just in life that everybody's going through something. I only walk in my shoes. I'll never fully know how it is to be anyone else. But carrying that empathy and knowing that we're all trying to step forward regardless of where we're at is really an important space, particularly with where our world's at in general. Like, we need more empathetic humans coming through and saying, how are you? What's going on? Let's step forward together. As cliche as that sounds, I think everybody can agree we are in space in this world where we need our people walking hand in hand and supporting one another. Okay, wherever you're on your journey, you can always come back to self, and this is where that mindset is. We're driving this home because even when you walk away or wake up tomorrow, you might think about the speech, you might not, it is available, but it ebbs and flows. You have good days, you have bad days. You just have to know that this tool is in your tool belt, that you can get back to that grounded space of knowing where you're at, who you are, and the gold stars in your real life. Your body is not a limitation. Your body is proof of resilience. On TNT, I say highlight the scars, Botox the wrinkles. Again, it's that juxtaposition of, knowing where you're at. But if you want to, Botox and do the things, I'm all here for it, so long as your heart and mind your feet are on the ground and you're aligned with where you're at. The body is a canvas for expressing who you are, from fashion to energy to hair, taking advantage of those expression points so the world can truly see you and see how you're moving through this world. Your body doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you an expert on adaptation. So can you repeat this with me? Your body does not make you weaker. It makes you an expert on adaptation. And if any science reference, survival of the fittest, you know, if you cannot adapt, you do not survive. So embrace that ability to adapt and survive and move forward no matter what. It becomes a stage where you express who you truly are. Quick marketing example for all my entrepreneurs or anyone else in the mix. I always laugh when I get marketing clients. They're like, we're changing the packaging, we're doing all this, and the product's the same thing, which is great because if it's a great product and you're changing that package, that's fine. But if it's a crap product and you're changing the package, I'm like, well, that's great. You put a dress on it or you made it look nice, but it's still the same product. So my point in that is our soul, who we are, is always here. If our packaging and however it changes, so be it. But our soul and our feet on the ground and our mindset and our brain and our energy are always who we are. Again, more humans, more tequila. They're having a good time. Where does that inner strength come from? So I reference the gold stars. And this is kind of funny to me because I do exist amongst, human optimization, very accredited, strong humans, aesthetically and traditionally beautiful and all the things. And most of those humans, or a lot of them, are some of the humans that need the most healing. And as I went on my journey, I was very impressed with, doctorates and degrees and medals and sports championships. But what I was truly impressed with was speaking with humans when I know they had come through the fire or come through the flames and have really evolved personally outside of all the credentials and had survived big things. And that's what inspired me as a human, and that's really what I try and bring on the podcast and talk about the human behind the mission, because it's great when you've done, you get awards and you do this stuff, but I want to know, what have you really come through to make you who you are and to inspire the world through your journey? So I like to know, what have you gone through in life? What trials and tribulations? What are the things that nobody knows about you? Big moments, big choices that went unseen, survival, death, divorce, betrayal, social media, disorders, thinking about how hard things you've come through and things that really nobody else would know about. And so I would take a time and have a monthly practice of just sitting and thinking okay, what are my actual gold stars? What have made me walk through the fire? It wasn't sports trophies and all this stuff. It was moments that nobody really knew about, that weren't popular by the community, that this is, a celebratory thing. But it was me where I'm like, oh, this actually matters and it makes sense. So this is a quick story on me. It's quite literally the least flattering photo I probably have in all of the photos that I have. Is anybody familiar with CrossFit by chance? Maybe, yes, no, okay. It is a little bit of a cult. I'm a 17-year CrossFitter, so I can say that. Long story short, I was a games competitor, so that's the peak championship you can get at. And we were adults. I think I was 35, so I'm an adult athlete at this point. And we were training to go to the games. This is regionals. Not to go too far into it, but they give you structured workouts. I was on a team. There's 6 of us, and we had to do muscle-ups. If you don't know what that is, it's rings. You got to pull yourself down and then sit up. In the Olympics, you see it. The men do it. The women don't actually do the rings at all. But this is not one of my great movements. I am, lower body-centric, and I'm better at lifting and moving things. So 2 female athletes had to get 2 muscle-ups in this situation. Otherwise, the entire team did not qualify. So one of our athletes was taller than me. The rings she didn't want to do it, but she was our muscle-up person. Long story short, the girl before me gets 2, and then it was my turn. I get 1, and then the second one I couldn't get. And I've got an audience 5 feet in front of me. The clock's ticking down. If I don't get this, the entire team is disqualified for an entire years of training, and we don't get to qualify to go to the games, which is the championship. So this is make or break 10 seconds. And these are movements, if anyone's done little, we were doing bands today, it's triceps, once those muscles are gone, that's it. So some miracle, you can even see right here, my judge, he's freaking out. The 2 girls behind me are kind of freaking out. Somehow, in some way, literally it was 3, 2, 1, I hopped up and pushed out that last muscle up, and we got through. I get actually the chills and sweat thinking about it. Anxiety is still there, and this was 10 years ago. But this was one of my finest moments, that I not only physically I could pull through, literally metaphorically, but I could actually execute when all hell was breaking loose. My mind's freaking out. Everyone's around me is freaking, the energy's crazy. I could, ruin this for my team. And what do you think happens as we get through? It works out. We're fine. We didn't get a great score, but we got through. Instead of my coach being excited about this and being happy, I got taken off the team. So not only was I I was a grown-ass adult paying to do this, so we're not pro athletes at this point. We spend hours doing all of this training, and again, we're a team, we're cohesive, and I happened to be working for Reebok at the time, so I helped fund this team, I helped outfit this team, we did all the things. We get back, and he's like, I'm really nervous about your ability to do muscle-ups. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? I just executed this. First of all, it's not even my position, but second of all, I executed in the moment. So long story short, and we're healed from it for the most part, it still stings because this is my heart space has always been competing. The point is, when I walked away, my finest moment got me taken off a team that I helped build. And that identity and that changing mindset, and I think I went back into that weight loss mode I just shut down, and back to that depression mode, changed who I was. However, as I had time to reflect, that dark moment that I was taken off the team, they were disappointed, I was actually extremely proud of myself in that moment, because when all else failed, I executed. And to this day, when I have a hard moment, I walk into a room and it's a hard thing, I think of that and I'm like, shit, I don't got to do a muscle up right now. I know I can get on stage and talk to my humans about whatever it is. I don't have to do this. So it was a major moment in my life of thinking like, okay, society, world around me, my team, my community were disappointed, hypothetically, not everybody, mostly my coach. However, this was my finest moment in my athletic career of 20 plus years of competing. Being a D1 athlete, being a games athlete, being whatever the list is, that was it. So it took me out of the game, but it also helped put a major gold star in my life. So I really want you to take a moment and think about where society didn't see your gold star moment, but in that moment, that was like, oh shit, I did it. I really did something big, even though everything around me told me otherwise. Driving it home, it's not about my CrossFit wins, lacrosse championships, etc. There's my games trophies and all the things. And it means a lot, all of these things, because it's really hard and I'm really proud of these accomplishments. But truthfully, I think of that muscle up story and I think, okay, I don't need validation externally, because I know, even when everything around me, my entire world crumbles, I executed, I did it, and I did what I knew I could do when everybody else thought I couldn't, even when it cost me on the back end. So in other moments in my life, managing my parents' divorce as an adult, having a mental breakdown when I tore my ACL, being terrified just in general to start a business, but not wanting a boss, so we figured that out. And then publicly failing. If you're an athlete or anyone that competes, the audience is right there. If you miss it, you miss it. It's there for the world to see. My gold stars right now, fitness, another one of my pups. I even brand them. They love it. Okay, so it might be, whatever your gold star is, it might not necessarily be the day you hit your goal weight, finishing the cross line, or doing the surgery itself. It's the Tuesday when you showed up when you didn't feel like it and did it anyways. Every single step, when nobody was watching and you didn't quit, it was the choice to keep going. So take a second and think about one moment for you that nobody knew. And it doesn't have to be a physical thing. Maybe it was a mental thing, like I mentioned, divorce or breakup or things like that. But a moment where no one really saw you, but you are truly proud that you took that step forward. Just get that in your mind right now. This is my favorite part. I give this speech or some version of, I like to get a couple people that want to share it. I do actually have a tangible gold star for everybody that I'll give out at the end. I do like the NeuroConnect so that you can keep this on you. It's just, it's a very inexpensive little thing you can keep on you, but the value obviously is your gold star at the moment. But I think when you touch something and feel it, it helps connect that brain and tangible feeling of you getting back into that moment. So think about your gold star moment. I would love if anybody wants to say it out loud and share it. I think saying it into universe is a very big deal. So think about it for a couple seconds. And then if there's anyone that wants to share, Hannah has a mic somewhere. She is going to give you a gold star and have you share your moment. Does anyone want to step up and share?
Right up here.
Oh, no pressure. I can't really see.
There we go. All right, right up here.
Anyone?
I'm Nina Bowers. If you guys don't know, I'm one of the Berry Besties, and one of my gold star moments was I broke my back, almost 2 years ago, and didn't give up because of my bestie. She kept on giving me the right words, the right affirmations, and helping me move forward, and I actually ended up continuing to lose weight even with my back broken and started walking. We did a 5K a month after my back was broken. And
wow.
That did it.
Let's go.
Well, because you went, that made me brave so I could go. So I started Advanced Bariatric Counseling, which is a specific to bariatrics counseling program here in Orlando, Florida. And that was definitely my gold star because I needed help I couldn't find, and so I wanted to be that help for other people.
Let's go. I love it.
And we know she helps a lot of people in here. We love Ashlyn.
Hannah's getting her steps in today through this.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Debbie Anstedt, and 2012 I was diagnosed with end-stage heart failure. And I
Okay.
didn't know it. I had been seeking help for years, and everybody told me I was just a nervous woman, and you know, you're stressed out. Take some Paxil or something. But anyway, I had to go through all the appointments to have a heart transplant. And
Wow.
I told the heart surgeon, I said, I'm not having a heart transplant. I said, I will if I have to. I said, but I want to try to fix myself first. And I am now, took me a long time to make the decision to have my bariatric surgery, but I'm off all my medications.
Woo!
My heart function went up from 4% to I now have a normal ejection fraction of about 60%.
Wow.
I work out all the time, and I'm just so thankful and grateful that I'm still here, and I didn't let them define the rest of my life because they told me to get my affairs in order.
Wow.
Incredible.
Ow!
Who's following up on that one?
Yeah, good luck.
No, I love it. I'm coming over. They're all important.
Hi, my name is Denise Stepp, and one of my gold stars in 2004, my father, who was just a great man by everyone's account, passed away. I was an adult, and I had 2 children of my own and caring for another one. I had two full-time jobs actually at the time. I had to organize and plan his funeral because my mother just fell apart completely. They had been married for 42 years. And then right after, she kind of lost it in her mind. So I had to care for her for the next 21 years until she just passed away this last year. And I think it's so complex caring for somebody else like that you really don't talk about it with a lot of other people. But if you ever have gone through it or if you ever have to go through it, it's something really profound in a lot of ways. You can learn a lot from it too. But for me, that's my moment.
Woo!
Oh, just a little one. It's all right. It's dark in here. Have other. Over there, back up front. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Margaret, and yesterday was actually my 2-year sobriety date.
Hey. Ow!
And this has given me confidence to conquer other addictions in my life. Let's talk about the snowball
Good for
effect.
you. Let's go. Yes.
Congratulations. Up here again. Okay, 1 second. All right, Pam, the other berry bestie.
Of course.
So in 2020, height of the pandemic, I was in a car accident and I suffered a stroke. That stroke affected the right side of my body, and at 51 years old and 364 pounds, I had to learn to walk and talk all over again. And it sent me into a deeper depression because I wasn't used to leaning on anyone else because I was always the one in control. I gained an additional 60 pounds on top of that. And I had a neurologist that looked at me and he said, have you ever thought about bariatric surgery? And I looked at him and I said, no, I can do it on my own. And he said, but you haven't. I had surgery in 2022 and I'm down 174 pounds.
Hey, go girl.
And nobody prepared me for the fact that I was going to be standing here today in front of you after doing a workout and running and walking numerous 5Ks and a half marathon within 2 years of surgery and meeting the most amazing friend I've ever had in my life. You need one person in your life that believes in you, and we both have that.
Hey. Let's go.
Oh, I have one right here.
More.
There's some hands in the back. I got you. I'll go here and then I'll come back there.
Hi, I'm Bethany. My gold star moment was when I gave my life to the Lord 8 years ago. And I went into a recovery home and completed it and got my GED while I was there.
Hey,
That's
go
my
girl.
gold star moment.
Let's go.
Here we go. And we're going to grab a second mic so Amber can help out too. I'm coming back here. Hold on. should just kick the shoes off at this point.
Good job, Hannah. Good job.
Was it here? Okay, fabulous.
Hi, I'm Teresa. My gold star moment was whenever in 2020 I got COVID and was induced into a coma for 18 days. Like this lady over there, I had to learn to walk, talk, stand, sit up, everything. They told me it would take me years to be able to get back to where I was before. I told them I'd give them 30 days in the rehab. I said, you have 30 days to get me back to where I can stand up. In 30 days, I was able to stand up and walk out of that place and go back to work.
Woo! Let's go.
I'm here to help.
Hi, my name is Whitney, and I just want to say it might sound small, but I hit my 50-pound loss mark.
Woo! Ow!
And we love you guys.
Woo!
All right, coming back over here.
Yes. Are you going as well? You don't have to.
I am Whitney's sister, and I had my surgery February 2nd, and I've lost 48 pounds.
Hey, let's go.
My name is Jordan, and my gold star moment is my bariatric surgery. I had my surgery on November 1st of 2024, and I've lost a total of 120 pounds.
Wow.
And this is my gold star moment because it showed me that I truly had the discipline to do hard things and breaking out of things that was once comfortable.
Hey. That's what's up.
All right, over here.
We good?
And I know we have time for a couple more, I think.
All right, let's do a couple more. Yeah. You know I'll stay here all day if you can.
I'm Mallory. I had a sleeve and then I just had a revision a couple weeks ago. But my gold star moment was working through all of the life-changing things, and I thought, wow, I can do this. So I went back to school and I got my doctorate as a psychiatric nurse practitioner because I thought, why not?
Woo!
It can't be that hard. And I did it, and now I work for the government, and I'm able to help other people and through their traumas, and it's just one of the, overall, one of the biggest blessings, but to be able to do it scared, broken, moving forward, through diagnosis. I've had most of my family has died through my journey, so finding the people that you love, losing them, recalibrating, meeting new people, and then moving forward and then taking a step back. And it's just a journey, and it just takes time, and having that grace to realize it takes time, and it's a lifetime. Thank you.
Woo!
I got you, Shannon.
My gold star moment came in 2006. I had just recently got divorced and had made a 5th attempt at taking my own life. So I also went to rehab, therapy, and that was when I quit smoking. So July is my 20-year anniversary of claiming my life back.
Hey. Woo!
Yeah, Gabriella.
Hi, my name's Gabby, and I just wanted to say that my gold star moment was being able to quiet down the noises of unworthiness enough to show up here for the first time for myself ever.
Ow! Let's go.
You go, girl. Gold star. Happy you came.
We good?
All right, I think we're going to do one more. And then
One more?
Last one?
Right there?
Who wants to wrap it up for us?
Perfect.
Whoa. I wanted to say that my gold star moment was one evening when I was standing in my bathroom, and I felt like barely my skin was holding me together. I'd spent my life trying to be perfect, trying to do it all, trying to be good enough, thinking if I did,
No one would ever know about the trauma that I went through as a child with my father. It was at that moment I decided I was going to quit. I had a 4,800 square foot house, 6 teenagers, a high-functioning alcoholic husband. I was a corporate executive, and I was traveling 200,000 miles a year without domestic help. I quit it all. And I started to redefine myself, and I stopped defining myself by the trauma of my childhood. And it began the journey that I have that brought me here today, where every day, whatever I do, is about myself and about who I want to be and not who I no longer don't want to be.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey. Hey. You guys, thank you for sharing. It's so empowering. It's so inspiring. I literally just want to tell everybody to start a podcast because it's so real. I'm very passionate about inspiring all my humans, but particularly my young people. Marketing influence is out there, and there's so many messages coming at them, but I love the truth, and I love if and when in due time you share it with a friend, you get on a mic, you do something, please share your journey where you're at because you never know who you're inspiring. And like I said, everybody's going through something, and all people, but particularly young people, really need to hear the truth of examples of lived experience. And I think it can really put our world into a better place. So there's that soapbox. But I really appreciate you taking time to share, putting it out into the universe, saying it, I think is so powerful. So even if you didn't get on the mic right now, tell it to the friend next to you. Come tell it to me afterwards. I do have gold stars for everyone that I'll give out personally. But put it out there, say it, and let it be free, and let yourself hear it back. It's very, very powerful. The reminder, you have everything you need right now to succeed. You've already done the hard things for the hard things to come, and you absolutely do have the power. So think about these hard things whenever you're in doubt. Touch this gold star and think of like, I got this. I've done way harder stuff than what I'm about to do. And it can be facing the gym, making the hard choice, giving the speech, any moment you don't want to do it. And this can be a big thing, I don't want to go for a run, or it can be a big thing, I need to make a move and change my life, get sober, divorce, do whatever you got to do. It can be all these things. But it really is getting back to that grounded space, knowing the gold star moment, and knowing that you've already done hard things, you can do the hard thing. Once again, think about one small movement you'll take with you today that reminds you that you have the power. Let's just take 1 second, really think about that gold star, maybe one other thing that's like, I did that, and you can feel that power in your heart. I really want you to think about it and then like think about it and feel it right here in your heart space. Okay, that's where that transformation comes. It's about your soul. Like I said, about the packaging, we can do all the things, but I always want to focus on my soul, what I'm doing, how I'm showing up. And it's about reclaiming that power. You don't need permission to be powerful. You don't need validation to matter. You don't need the trophy to win. You matter right now. Your changing body is your strength. You are capable now. Conclusion, anytime you feel off, pause, get back to that heart space. Remind yourself of the power you maintain. Get that gold star out. If you happen to lose this little gold star, I use a penny that I keep on me. Whatever it is, keep something on you so it's constantly there. Move forward with your ever-evolving body, mind, and spirit. And my mantra is when in doubt, work it out. If I'm ever having a bad day, I just go move. And that might be shoulder circles at my desk. It might be going for a walk. It might be doing whatever you can do, find something to move. Again, more of my friends, more branding. I won't read this right now because I don't want to take all of your guys' break, but man in the arena, I say human in the arena right now because it's 2026. But basically, it's better to be out there and marred and scarred in the arena and doing the things, even if you fail, like I did with the muscle-up situation, than it is to be someone standing on the outside that doesn't know victory nor defeat. This is a phenomenal poem, and I usually don't even read it because it makes me cry every single time. Brene Brown talks about this a lot, but it really sums up, I think, about going out there, doing the hard things, failing, letting people be seen, but it's better than not having done anything at all. The other piece is attitude. The one thing that we really control are ourselves and our attitude. Life is 10% what happens, 90% how you react to it. So keep this one in your back pocket. I got this as a freshman in college, and I was like, why are we listening to this? And now at 45, I'm like, oh, I get it. So we're here. Attitude reflects leadership. I love all my people out here that are so branded out in their business and their cause. If you bleed it, they will come. stand in your truth, whether it's your message today or your actual business. Please go out there and share what you're doing. And like I would say, I'm brand on brand and brand. I love to see my other companies because if you, again, you stand for it, you got to be your number one ambassador. Dare greatly, disrupt gracefully. I have to work on the graceful part. People always ask me, who do I work with? What do you eat? Do the things. These are all my partners, and I'm not even promoting them for affiliate codes or anything. These are incredible humans. Like Betsy, I've interviewed most of them on the podcast. You can not only know what the product, what it is, blah, blah, blah. You can know the human behind the journey. So these are companies I'm really excited. I do believe if you can disrupt the dollar and spend and vote intentionally, that's how you can intentionally vote in this world. There's me. Holler at me. I appreciate you guys. I'm accessible. If you have any questions, comments, come at me. I'm really excited. Please check out the podcast. My conversation with Betsy was amazing, and her sharing her journey. I have tons of incredible humans like her that have really gotten to the minutia and are really living intentionally. It's a very exciting situation. You don't have to drink tequila or eat turmeric. You can just show up and have some fun and have some laughs. But holler at me. Come get a gold star. And that's it. Here's my research if you want to get into the details. You can do all that. But thank you for having me and welcoming me in the community. I appreciate you guys. And have a great rest of the day. I can't wait to see the other speakers. Cheers.